Yo, welcome to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. We welcome you guys. Um, I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with my other hosts, Damon Armstrong and Jaquari Armstrong. We're here to give you our perspective, which is the strong perspective. It's not the only perspective, but we strong, so it's the strong perspective. Welcome you guys, and let's have a great discussion tonight. And really and truly, it is a variety. We all three of us have picked different things we want to talk about, or talk about what each other is talking about. Damon, how you doing today, brother? How was your day?
Man, my day was glorious, man. I really enjoyed it, man. I spent time with my grandbaby, man. She is a delight, man. You know what I'm saying? Wait, you looking at? I love you. I love you too, granddad. Now,
Yeah,
can I get back to Gracie or whatever she watching on TV?
yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, just enjoying the moment, man. That's all.
Quarry, how you doing today, brother?
I'm leaning towards the middle, brother. Leaning towards the middle. Trying to keep myself straight.
Okay.
Everything's cool. I had a pretty good day, man. I was walking, talking, and and able to interact, and it was a good day, man.
I's here, sir. I's here. Um, what I'll do, like when we usually have the three of us, we usually reserve the last to do each of our segments at the last. And a lot of times it's because I forgot more than anything. But we're gonna stick to the script. And today I'm gonna start off the each of our segments. This is Big Dog's perspective. And what I want to talk about is the other day, I like to being retired, I like to scroll through social media. That's what I do. Because there's a lot of information in it that reinforces what I believe and also teaches me things that I need to know. That's what it is. So this is what I do. So I saw these two brothers on Instagram, I believe. One was an American black man, and then another one was I'm not sure what country he's from in Africa, but he was another brother from Africa. And this was part of their little segment. I think it's a longer segment, but the American brother had some things to say, and what he spoke about mostly was the experience that American black folks had comparison to African black folks had. You know what I mean, and to bring it just to tighten it up a little bit, the brother said that pretty much we had 500 years of our history erased. So we're here in this country while really understanding where we've been and where we come from and who we are, right? But then the brother went further, which really and truly educated me because I feel I know everything. And I also feel like I don't know enough. So I'm always learning. The brother said, as compared to you, brother, where you were still in your country, but you were colonized. And you had to go through the horror of colonization. What was going on with you? He said, the difference between the two is what you could do is down to the very tree that your ancestors met, especially if you had, is it a griot? A historian of the community. You had someone who could tell you about your community down to the family. And you had family members who also were historians of your family, where you came from. He said, we did not have that, right? He was not comparing the two. What he was doing was, what he did was, he was saying that there is trauma on both sides. And the trauma has never really been acknowledged because it's the colonization of the African countries and it's the slaveries of America. Two different things, right? Two different things, two different horrible things, but they do have something in common. It is captivity and bondage. And that hit me. That hit me in a place where, you know what? And I've always embraced brothers and sisters from the continent, from different countries, out of curiosity and also because we are light skinned. We may not think the same way because we have had the different, or we may not think the same way, but we have something in common, and that is bondage. That is horrible experiences. Trying to fight off somebody trying to condition you to think that you're not human or you're below a substandard, which is a gigantic lie. I just wanted to share with you guys exactly what I saw and what I thought about that. That's the big dog perspective.
You know, man. For a long time, I believe, man, that the really big difference is the fact, Africans were colonized and everything, man, but they still really never had an opportunity to like commingle with the colonizers. Okay, yeah, France, England, Germany, Portugal, or whatever. They might have left, but there's still those citizens there, and there's still that the African population, who they oppressed, but they were in separate areas, as opposed to us, man. We were free, and no matter how hard it's been for us to live next door to people who had their foots on their neck, it's happened. You know what I mean? So when they get here, they don't really seem to have a notion of what our they don't have a notion of what the degree our racism affects us. I mean, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Mali or whatever, man. They around all black people. So when they get here, they like, well, shit. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all don't treat each other better? Well, what's the problem, man? The others all, others been killing y'all for hundreds of years, and now y'all killing yourselves. So yeah, I
Got
a lot of points, man. That because I never.
I mean, it's a lot to unpack. Yeah, I believe I'm with you with that. I really am. Damon?
But see, my thing is this, man. This is how I feel about the situation. Being colonized or in chattel slavery, it's all oppression. Man. I'm saying that's what it is. There's somebody that's above you, and they treat you like subhuman or whatever. That should be the connection alone.
Should be.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You try to, you try to. People try to. Well, at least we were colonized, and y'all was treated like worse than animals. And it's like either way, the same people, oppressed us. We have that connection there. You know what I'm saying? How do you try to justify one situation being worse than the other? You know,
It's not.
it's not. You know, there's a constant effort, even to this very day. There's a constant effort to get us to see each other as different when we really aren't. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
point. Good
Do
point.
we know? Do we know who our ancestors were? What tribe we were from, and all that stuff? No, we don't. You know, but what's wrong with embracing instead of being judgmental? It's
No doubt.
the part that I don't understand.
No doubt. I
You
think.
know,
I think. And look, and both of y'all brought up good points. I think that the thing about it is, it is always the propaganda associated with everything. Growing up, right? Because the three of us had the education that we had, right? Timbuktu, the very first college and educational system on earth, right? This is the kind of thing that we learned as infants, understanding what was going on. But guess what? We are told that we're looking at movies about Tarzan. It was one lone white man that put fear in nations of African people. I understand it's a movie, but it's conditioning. I mean, his cry, with with the book and everything, his cry put fear in kings and queens' heart that they did not want to mess with it. Now, was it done purposely? No. But what it is when you create a story about something and you want to make sure that you come out the winner, you are going to form the story around some magical shit. You feel what I'm
Just
saying?
the story of Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the story of Jesus. The passing of Jesus Christ was not an original story. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
Egyptian or whatever. Hey man, you know what, man? We need to have. I think it'd be a good idea, man, if we had our cousins, Kevin and Jamar Johnson on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to discuss this particular subject, man. Those as far as African history and everything, and African American history, man. Those guys are heavy, man, for real.
Okay. Look, we'll make that happen.
you know what used to blow my mind about the Tarzan TV shows, man, is that he was dealing with all kind of nation of black Africans, man. But his main statement he always made to him was Babalusha Mangani. Y'all remember that? Babalusha Mangani. I don't even think that even means anything, man.
Our dad used to say that all the time. No,
Then
it could.
Pace and Pace.
You understand that everything in the movies is exaggerated, but is based on truth also. You know what I'm saying? Because Babalushi Mangani, right? I used to know this shit. So I'm not going to sit up here and pretend I remember it now. But what it is the fact that if you throw something as far as I hate the word native, but native tongue, and say, yo, this is what y'all used to say, then it makes it more believable.
But
You know what I'm saying?
so lazy though, man. I mean, it's you. Yeah, have you ever heard like? Have you ever watched the old Western movie, cowboys and Indian movies, and they refer to a young lady, a Native American young lady, as a squaw?
Mm.
Do you know it's the word squaw is a reference to the female sexual organ. So it's laziness, man. I mean, and
Not
it's
laziness. It's white
yeah,
trapper, colonizer related.
yeah, and it's specific to one tribe. I mean, that's not that they didn't all. They didn't all use that word for you know for the female sexual organ. It's just lazy. It was colonial laziness.
I'm gonna tell you the thing that tripped me out is how back in the slavery times, man, like with Thomas Jefferson, was it Sally Hemings or whatever her name was? It was like they had a love affair.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
It
saying?
depends on who's telling the fucking story.
They had a love affair. I mean the extent that some people go to justify, you know what I'm saying, the bullshit. It's like, how the hell you gonna say Thomas Jefferson had a relationship with his slave woman, they had babies together, and it was consensual? Really? Really? And then people, you know, and maybe I should speak out more about that kind of behavior, that kind of stuff like that. But when I see it, I hear it, I'm like, man, you can't be that stupid, man, to make that statement. But more people believe that shit than not, man.
Because if that's the only information that you fed, that's the only information people going to choose to believe. They choose to believe. I mean, because you got to think about it. As human beings, right? As human beings, I'm not talking about communities, human beings, we want to believe what the whole believes because we don't want to be by ourselves.
Man, I look at, man, you know, there's probably a lot of truth to that, man. I'm just saying, as these certain things come out, and me as a 57-year-old man, and I hear that shit, I'm like, come on, man. I don't think anybody believes that shit.
Oh, they do.
You know,
They do.
if they do, then I kind of question their intelligence, man.
I mean, don't do that. The thing about it is, people, you know what I think it is, though, bro? Honestly, we all look for the easier path. So we look for the most difficult path by choice. By if we don't want to choose, we look for the easier path because everybody else believes a certain thing. I think that's my opinion. What y'all think about that?
Let me ask y'all both a question, man. Do y'all remember the first time y'all was called the N word?
Yeah, by a bunch of white boys. Yes, sir.
Look, do you think how many black people in this country, man, has had that experience?
Oh, look, I can guess at least 89%.
Okay, 89%.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought that up is that when you look at like down with the DeSantis down in Florida, and they want to try to erase history so their kids won't feel guilty about what their ancestors did, right? And I'm like, okay, I understand why you would feel that way. Is it justifiable? Is it what? No, it's the silliest shit in the world because we as black people, when we send our kids to school, especially if it's a mixed school or whatever, with all nationalities, our kid is gonna come home one day saying one of his friends or her friends call her or him the N-word. You know what I'm saying? So on one hand, they don't want that history revealed, so they try to erase it for our kids' sake, right? But we as black people know that one day we're going to have to address the fact that our child is going to be called the N-word. You know what I'm saying? So we supposed to go for that dumb shit. We don't want your kids to feel bad from their ancestors and the history of it. But your kid is gonna call my kid the N-word. So you can try to hide past all you want. But as black parents, we're gonna have to let our child know the reason why they calling you that.
Got to stay on top of it. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So my point is, Why try to hide history? Why try to hide the truth when your racist ass is gonna teach your kids the N word any damn way? Am I making sense?
I believe you. I'm with you. It's a learned behavior, man. It really
Yeah.
is.
You know, my fear, man, is that not that we'll start to replace the other, man, but we have a lot of traits of the other, man. I mean, like when we go on vacation, man, when we go to different countries or whatever, we expect to be treated a certain way because we're Americans, and people
Yeah,
in people in those countries, man, resort countries and third world countries, and people on the continent of Africa, you know, I've had conversations with those people from those areas, and they kind of look at us as white people when we travel.
I get it. I get it. But you know what? When I look, and me and my wife, we're gonna start to travel to different countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure I do that for my wife. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not my expectation, dog. Corey, that's not my expectation.
Mm-hmm.
My expectation is you don't treat me like an American. Treat me like I don't fucking speak your language because I'm at your tourist. I'm at your tourist resort. Is where I am. I'm not in the middle of your city expecting you to treat me a certain way. No, I booked this at your resort hotel. Make accommodations for me, please. I'm spending a lot of money to be there.
Yeah, I understand that, man. But it's I always try to keep the human in it, the human aspect in it, man.
And then that's real. That's real.
I,
I was just speaking from, as far as the tourism thing. But go ahead.
maybe you know what I believe. Maybe it's because I've earned a living in the service industry, man. You remember when I used to work at the hotel,
Yeah.
dealing with people, man, and just it got to the place where the hotel when I was working at the courthouse in Virginia. Sam's Club. It got to the point, man, where I really had a disdain for the public, man. I really did, because it seemed to me that anytime, including our people, anytime somebody could, make a fool out of the big black man, you know, nobody ever passed up the opportunity.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know,
I feel that. I
and I,
feel that. Listen, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
the my levels of disrespect, feeling disrespect, man, it varied in degrees, man, because I was bruised when I got into it with black people. I was bruised, like, hey, man, like, you know, it's best for me to separate myself from you, sir, because I need this job, and I don't know if I can whoop you or not, but I'm gonna try if you keep talking to me.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, I retired from law enforcement and was in law enforcement for 30 years, right? And the one thing I knew about it was whenever I went to any call, the first and foremost thing was I was going to do my job, understanding where the job came from, understanding what I am there to do and how people view me. You see what I'm saying? So me taking it personal was never in the equation because what I did was I followed my professional standards until I understood what I had to do. You see what I mean? See what I did was, and this is the thing. This is what helped me carry me through, kept my insanity, helped me to continue to keep my optimism when it came to just being what I was doing in my everyday job and who I was. I followed my professional standard. I did not allow anybody to tell me or dictate to me, oh, you doing that and you a brother. Let me tell you something. Not always, but half the time or 45% of the time, when somebody said that to me, they were in the wrong. You feel what I'm saying? They were in the wrong when it came to me doing my job. How you doing that to I'm a black man? First of all, you just hit this man in the head with a pipe. This example. You just hit him in the head with a pipe. I don't give a fuck whether or not he made you mad. You knew hitting him in the pipe was gonna give him a lump and bust his head open. So how did you think past that? Had many conversations like that. See what I'm saying? Because I did my job without judgment. I try to live my life without judgment. It's very hard. Don't always succeed. But what I try to do is try to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't owe the public anything, but I owe myself to put myself in the place of as far as the public is concerned. When I run into a stranger who's in law enforcement and I want him to treat me a certain way, I made sure that I treated him in the way that I would want to be treated. Because guess what? If it didn't work out, if they were guilty or they didn't want that, it would show up real quick. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, and I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get back to you guys. So a lot of times, people only care about their own feelings, no matter how wrong they are. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else, man. You know what I mean? And what's so crazy about it is, I had to understand that I don't want this guy to be on my side. But what I wanted him or her to know is I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, whether they like it or not. We ain't got to be friends. You can be pissed off, you can fight me, the whole nine. But what I'm going to do is what's right. That's it.
The definition of criminogenic thinking, man. I mean, whenever a person commits an act, whether it be petty or vile, and they want a certain amount of leeway, but you ask them to explain their actions and they either can't or they refuse to, that thinking is skewed, man. That thinking is skewed, man. If you want to change a person, man, you have to you got to increase you got to do things to try to help increase their empathy, so they do give a shit about other people, and have them ease up on the entitlement, man, for real.
Damon?
Well, I'll just keep it simple. I'll look at them and say, hey, I was going here for a reason, man. And I'm going to do my job. You know what I'm saying? You can say whatever the hell you can say whatever the hell you got to say. There's going to be an investigation, and you're going to have to deal with that, brother. Don't put that on me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? You think because you the same color as me, I'm going to come there and be like, I'm gonna cut this brother. I'm gonna automatically believe you? No, dude. I walk in the house, your wife lumped up, and the house tore up, and you want to explain yourself. The explanation is in right there. The very least I'm gonna do is separate, make sure she's safe.
is zero tolerance, period, bro.
No
Just
matter what come out your mouth.
Yeah.
Man, she was hitting me too. Yeah, but she beat the hell up, man.
I mean, over the course of your career, man, how many times has anybody ever talked you out of arresting them?
I mean, almost every time.
Out of arresting
And
them?
you just said, talk me out of arresting them?
Actually
Bro,
talk you.
look, let me tell you something. And I'm going to keep it a buck. It has hurt my heart a couple times.
Mhm.
When I went ahead and arrested this man or woman, knowing that there was a victim that overcame the violence. You feel what I'm saying?
But my point is, man, that's like whenever in any situation, man, you know, when law enforcement gets there and you know you're in the wrong, that's his job is to take you to jail.
Yeah.
His job is not litigation. His job is not, you know, well, in some cases it could be mediation. But
Yeah.
you know, when the police show up, there's usually a consequence.
Look here. I can see if the police come in and talk and see the situation and say, "Oh, you in some shit now, ain't you, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, you in some trouble, bro. You got a lawyer? You better call him because
Look.
from what I see,
I kept it a buck. I kept it 100 every time I walked in there. If it was a domestic, right? And this brother, this is God's honest truth. If I see that I'm getting ready to take this man to jail, I say, yo, I'm going to interview her, but you, it looks like you going to jail. I'll look them straight in the eye, and I tell them, it looks like you going to jail because you put your hands on this woman. Makes no difference what's going on. You put your hands on this woman, right? Or you put this hands on this man. I've had 3 women in instances who stabbed their husband because they caught him cheating. And I took him to jail. I was like, yo, look, I understand you upset. Almost, look, the conversation almost was duplicated. I understand you upset, but pulling out a damn butcher knife and stabbing him was the wrong move. You gotta go. You gotta go. You know what I mean? Because the thing about it is, as much empathy I had, in which I had a whole lot, because I am a man who experienced everything. My brothers experienced everything when it came to domestics, when it came to life, when it came to everything. I did my job, and I was perfectly honest. I had his own partner say to me, why do you tell him, Keith, why do you tell him ahead of time that this one might happen? Because every time I tell them, do you see me fighting them? They know they fucking up. They know they fucked up. You know what I mean? Now, not in every case, because there's a couple times I had to really and truly fight a man or fight a woman, even though I told them they were going. But they didn't believe it because it is, when you put your hands on your mate, it is an extreme action. It's extreme. Sometimes you're not the type of person who would do some shit. Sometimes you be like, man, fuck that. I gotta scratch your ass or something. You know what I'm saying? It's real. All right, look, we at the halfway point. Jaquarius, you up. And then what we'll do after you're done, if you guys have something y'all want to bring up, we'll discuss that. But it's on you, Jaquari.
All right. The name of my segment is Uncle Spoke Say. And I want to discuss a situation that happened earlier this week. Okay. as I've mentioned on previous broadcasts, I work with juvenile offenders. Well, I got into a fight with a little white girl on Tuesday. Look here. When I tell you that she was skilled, she was fit, and she was mean, I ain't said nothing. Hey man, I believe that heifer was trying to murder me because with all the training I've been provided over the years, combined with what I brought in from the street, there was nothing I could do to counter or neutralize this little girl's attack. She just got in. We had to quarantine them and everything. So her first day in school, and she got into it. Because I guess she was a little thug white girl or whatever, right? And I just so happened to be in the area, so I go in there, and usually, I could talk a kid off the ledge or whatever, but she just wasn't having it, so I'm trying to talk to her, and she gets up and pushes the chair back, and and get out of my face, and who the fuck are you, and all this and all that, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, come on out in the hall, so we can talk, because I want to get her out to the hall just in case, I got to take her to the room or whatever. I'm not going nowhere. Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking, it's become necessary to go hands-on right? So I go, to apply the primary restraint technique, the PRT, right, which is basically like, it's just like a souped-up full Nelson, right?
Uh-huh.
But when I hooked her up, it became apparent to me that this little girl doesn't have some training, because she slipped, she slipped my left arm, and she worked her way behind me, right? And I was like, well, shit, this little heifer feisty, so I turned it up a little bit, and as I turned it up, she started, putting a squeeze on me. And I felt her like working her way up my body. She's a little short little thing. She's working her way up to my body and shit. And she steady taking swipes at my neck. And it flashed in my mind, like this little heifer's gonna choke me the fuck out. and apparently it seems to be nothing I can do about it. Now, during this time, like I said, it was classroom. It's like 3 teachers in the classroom. They standing around watching. Because they, like I said, I've neutralized situations before. They see me do it hundreds of times. All the staff, they seen us all do that stuff hundreds of times. So, I'm looking at them and I'm struggling with this little white girl, and I'm like, call the code red. Call the code red. Right? And I don't know why ain't nobody come in the first place, because we was moving furniture in there, and I look and I see my reflection, in the glass of the door, and I said, "Sport, you losing? you losing, Sport." And like I said, when all the furniture, I'm like, "This is jail, man. Y'all, my teammates, y'all hear all this noise and shit. Y'all ain't coming." So when the teachers finally called the doggone code, and everybody in the building came, and they see me struggling with this little white girl, hell, they stood there for a second. These motherfuckers here, you dirty bastards. You dirty bastards, right? So when they finally get the little white girl off me, and take her to a room or whatever, they had to handcuff her, right? I said, damn, they had to handcuff her. They had to handcuff that. Before they took out the room, she turns around and sneered and jumped at me. I said, damn. And the petty me, it etched in my brain. I said, if I ever see her on the street, I'm gonna have to beat that little bitch up. But, yeah, And it was, it was bad. It was bad.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, all the good I do around here, man. You motherfuckers stood around and looked at me and shit. I'm, I'm walking past people's offices and shit. They see me or hear me coming. They slam their laptops down, giggling and shit. I'm like, y'all watching that shit, you motherfuckers. Like, man, I ain't safe nowhere. Fuck y'all, man. That little girl was tough. No, fuck that. She was skilled. And she was mean. And I respect the hell out of that little white girl. Right, as long as she here, if I got any problems, I'm putting her on somebody.
Listen, you making sure you bringing her a chocolate milk every day.
Oh.
Hey, Spo, did she say, I got more for you, big fella?
I'm saying, like, man, like, but yeah, it happened on Tuesday, man. You know what? Yesterday, they let it, because she was on room restriction for a couple of days for kicking my ass. But apparently, some part of her is a human being because she came up or whatever. Can I hug you?
She did.
I'm like,
the
man,
full Nelson.
Yeah. I'm like, no, honey, that's against policy. I'm gonna give you a fist pound. But I'm like, bitch, if you put your hands on me again, I'm fucking up. I'm bad. You get no leeway from me.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
You said that the basic restraint don't work.
And that's what Uncle Spo say. Goddamn it, hey man, shit, I was scared.
That was a good one, Jaquari. That was definitely a good one.
Oh my God. He said, don't give up the throat, huh?
Look, she had me. She was behind me, right? and it reminded me of Maggie Johnson because when she was working her way up to my neck, I swear to God, I heard her say, "Mm-hmm." Mm-hmm. I mean, a little heifer had a leg around my waist and shit, man. And she was I'm like, the motherfuckers is standing there. Hey, man, look.
Shit.
I was certified to train that shit for like 5 years, man. And I was like, man, look here, shit. I in the training, I used to say, it's hell, and if this don't work, start punching. I'm like, man, I got to punch this little bitch. I'm gonna have to. And I realized, man, that shit. At that point in time, had I had a candy bar, and she desired it, I would keep her from taking it from me.
Hey, no. Your story remind me of Harlem Nights when Eddie Murphy and Della Reese was fighting. Eddie finally discovered that she was serious and she was gonna whoop his ass. He grabbed that trash can. He's like, yeah!
Man, I was never so happy to see them giggling motherfuckers come to my rescue, man. So, in my mind, I'm gonna get every single one of you motherfuckers for this.
Yeah.
That was funny, man.
Hell yeah. All right, well, look. Do you guys have anything that y'all want to discuss?
Yeah, before we started recording, man, you guys were talking about the young lady, man, who was assaulted with a brick for refusing to give the gentleman, the guy, her phone number or whatever. What do you guys sit on that, man? How you feel?
I personally, man, that is a bad situation. Man. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of did it like what they did was the brothers who was standing there, they came on and gave an explanation that she was antagonizing the brother or whatever. But this brother picked up a brick and hit the woman in the face with it, man.
Yeah.
You know, how you know, did she pull a razor out on you? A gun? You know what I'm saying? He went to a hell of an extreme, man. You know what I'm saying? For whatever his reason was. And then, you know, then they start showing videos of her slapping people. Okay, she did that. But this particular night, man, she she might have been arguing with the brother, whatever, but he picked up a brick and hit the woman in the face with it, man.
Yeah.
That is the craziest shit in the world to me, man. I mean, how can you even justify that? No matter what she did in the past, how do you justify doing that? You know, say, and then people coming to your aid saying, "Well, y'all don't know how she is in the community," and you know, you basically say, "Well, she deserved it." It was what they were saying, and I'm like, who the hell deserved to get hit in the face with a damn brick, man?
Yeah.
And then what it did to her, man, I was like, damn, that's a horrible wound, man, for real.
And then she's sitting there saying, "Y'all saw him hit me in the face with a brick, and y'all didn't do anything."
Let him get in the car and leave.
That's an indictment, brother. You know what I'm saying? How you, as a man, you could at least say, "Hey, man," when you saw the brother pick it up, you could at least say, "Hey, man, don't hit that woman with that damn brick, man. You don't need that." You know what I'm saying? You could have killed that woman. Hit her in the temple. That's a wrap. That's a murder. That's a case right there. It's a case anyway. But to sit on the sideline saying, "Well, you know, she was antagonizing him, so she deserved what she got." Unless you fighting for your life, man, nobody deserves to get hit in the head, in the face with a damn brick. Man.
I agree.
And quite honestly, man, you know, having being a survivor of in some situations of severe rejection myself before I attained marital bliss, standing there, you know, probably been dancing and grinding with a broad all night or whatever. Then you like, okay, yeah, I'm about to seal the deal, and then she shoot you down and do it and do it mean. I'm like, shit, you know, I ain't gonna punch you or hit you in the face with a brick, but I'm like, if I had some girl cousins around here, I get them to whoop your ass, your ass, and that ain't even right. But you know, I mean, that's you know,
It's a simple statement. Got to be more careful.
Got to be more careful.
But that's the thing that struck me about that whole situation, man, is that that's worldwide, man. Everybody's seeing that, man, and it's like, damn, they ain't willing to protect their own women, justifying it because she got a smart mouth. How you justify that, man? Standing there on the side, seeing it happen, and realizing that you did not say anything. You know what I'm saying? How you live with that? That don't mean you got to go in there and fight the man, but it's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? You just assaulted that woman. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for real. I mean, I done seen people get knocked out and snuck and all that stuff, man. But you know, I've never seen anybody get hit in the head with a brick or whatever, man. So shit, it's shocking, man. The dude's hell, they was probably scared. I'm like, shit, I ain't getting hit in the head with no fucking brick. And that ain't no excuse, but you know, the world's a fucked up place, man. Shit.
I think that was real extreme. To be honest with you, you know, first of all, unless you was a little small, and that ain't an excuse. He was a little small, skinny dude, and she outweighed about 50 pounds. That's one thing, you know what I mean? But to think that you had it in your mind to hit somebody in the head with a brick, you know what I'm saying? It's a horrible way to think, first of all. You
That's
know
a
what
sorry ass dude, man.
I mean? Yeah, no,
Period. He had no regard for her. You know what I'm saying? He didn't respect her on any level. You know, that's how you treat your women, bro. You pick shit up and hit them in the face with it, straight up.
so, is there anything
I'm,
else?
I'm like I'm like what's my man Sergeant on Soldier Story? We can't afford you no more. You know what I'm saying? Real
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
But I'm wondering. I mean, not that it matters much, but I'm wondering uh, if they, if you know, if you said that the guy was Somali too, right? And then, and then I seen the reaction video. It was a guy who was there and witnessed it, and he was explaining why he didn't do anything. He was from you know another part of Africa or whatever. So I'm wondering. I mean, was there any African Americans there?
I don't know.
No, because
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I've heard a
No,
couple. I've heard a couple black people say, well, yeah, it makes sense now because they treat their women a certain way. I mean,
no, hold on. They don't go around hitting their women in the head
I
with bricks,
don't,
man.
I don't, yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm not cheerleading, either way.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, as far as the stereotypes and everything, we have our stereotypes for them too.
that's real. That's real.
But the first thing that come to mind, man, is like, damn, what if that was my wife or my daughter or whatever? You know what I'm saying? You would hope who's ever standing around do something, man.
It
You know what
goes
I'm
back
saying?
back to empathy though. I mean, we got to train our children, man, to give a shit about people outside of their own homes. You know, we
That's true.
did it one time, but I don't think we do it anymore.
At the one time that we did it, it was because really and truly it was our survival was prevalent. You know what I'm saying? Where we had people who obviously, obviously didn't give a shit about what our community, whether we were going to thrive or we were going to survive or not. And they openly said it. So look, that kind of galvanized us. I mean, it galvanized. This is what this, look, we need to do this because of this. Yeah, I don't like you, Jimmy, because me and you, we bumped heads in the same girl when we were 17 years old. I don't like your ass, right? But when it's time to go march, if it's time to do some community shit, we're gonna do that shit. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
hold that shit against you. You know what I'm saying? Because other communities, that's what they do. And this is just my opinion. I think if I tried hard enough, I would find the proof in it where other communities hate each other. And I'm exaggerating when I say this, but they hate each other. But they will work together to make sure you don't fuck with them.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I respected about Albion, man. When I first started coming here, cats would be like beefing with each other, fighting, beefing with each other, whatever. But if somebody comes from out of town, you know what I'm saying, and starting some shit, them two cats that's beefing, that one cat he was beefing with, he right behind him talking about what we finna do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I saw that on several occasions, and I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? That's a real community, man. What's that? I can talk about your ass, but can't nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Type of mentality, man. And they stuck to that, man.
It sort of speaks to tribalism, though.
Yeah, they stuck to that, man. Anybody coming from out of town mess with anybody in Albion, they galvanized and came together, man. You know what I'm saying? And got down.
It's like
You
Ipsy,
know.
like Ipsy, man. Ainsworth Circle, townhouses, projects. It always had petty little rivalries going on, but you can't even ride through here. If people with a run, and Ann Arbor, same thing. But I'm like, man, these dudes is your cousins, man. I
Yeah.
never had a problem going and hanging out in Willow Run. And my friends, when we did on those off occasions, they was amazed, at that at the amount of love that I got.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What
we
about
went,
that?
and when we
That
went to Detroit, shit, they didn't believe that I ever lived in Detroit, man. Till we started going down there and we would see people that I knew.
I,
Hey, you know.
I just think that a lot of it has to do with it's an individual. It breaks down to the individual shit, right? Just like you just said, your friends didn't believe that you lived in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Me on one hand, like, what difference does it fucking make if I tell you you good? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? If you don't trust it, you don't got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because see, me, I steered away from trying to prove myself to other people. So what you guys are talking about was Ipsy, Willow Run, Detroit, all these different things like that, right? It was all black oriented. But then when it came to white boys riding through your community, right? It depends on the individual. Riding through your community, starting shit. It depends on who the individual was. If he was a motherfucking, if he was he ain't give a shit, and he like, man, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me, and I'm not gonna let you fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Then it'll be a thing. But later on you hear, yeah, man, the white boys is up here and blah blah blah, pip, pip, pip. And look, I don't got nothing against white boys, right? But I got something against white boys who trying to harm me or somebody that I know, in which I grew up off of that.
Remember that time we was in Pittsburgh, man, and them white guys was going at those slow people. So, who was the first person across the street? You remember that Keith Stacy?
I do remember something like that.
Stacy said, "Y'all see this?" You know what I'm saying? And they was like bullying. Uh, Dude, I think it was two brothers. They was bullying them. Getting at them. And when we ran across the street, they was like, "Hey, man," you know. But my point is, Stacy brought it to our attention, and we weren't gonna allow that to happen, man. Nothing happened, in it. But when the numbers came, it was like, dude, why is y'all mess with these people?
Yeah.
You know. But I don't know, man. It's as far as that sister is concerned, you know, people are trying. The thing that offended me mostly, man, is people try to justify her past behavior and make it all one thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Look,
man, what the
looking for
brother say?
looking for the shortcut, dog.
Right? No, no. The shortcut is you wasn't man enough to defend that woman. You was scared, bro. That's what that is.
You think
So
it?
you
No,
brought
no.
up her past.
Is that they didn't give a shit
Outside
because of her past.
How the hell you not giving shit about seeing a sister get hit in the face with a
Because
goddamn
a
brick?
lot of times what people do as human beings, white or black, they take the easier path, right? Instead of standing up and feeling like you on an island, like because you speaking up for somebody, you like, oh, everybody else is like sitting here like it's okay. So guess what? I'm gonna pretend that it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, and you tell yourself whatever you have to do, and you explain yourself, however you have to explain yourself to be able to goddamn sleep at night, man.
I guarantee the motherfuckers sleep very well.
there's a phenomenon, man. and I can't recall what it's called, man. But in scenarios like that, man, when somebody needs help in public and there are people around, able-bodied people around who can help, and in most situations will help. Usually they won't because they're thinking that somebody else is going to help.
They think somebody else is going to help. And as soon as they see the first person attempt to help that person, now everybody's chiming in.
Everybody stumbling over each other.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, man, I saw a situation where this brother had this guy in the middle of the damn street, man. He already out, and he started just beating this man down. And I was in the car with one of my boys and shit. And I said, man, pull up, man. Because we just watching it, right? I said, man, pull up. He down on top of this dude pounding him and shit. And I said, young brother, you trying to catch a body, man? You know what I'm saying? You trying to catch a body? What are you doing? He looked at me, he was like, oh, man, you right. You right. And took off running. You know what I'm saying? But there was something inside of me. It's like, man, this dude going, I don't know what transpired against these two people, but this man is unconscious, and you started punching him in his head. You know, and it's like, hey, man, if you keep punching that man like that, you finna kill him, dog. Is that what you trying to do?
Yeah.
And everybody else egging you on. You know.
Somebody else's entertainment. Yeah.
That is the craziest shit in the world, man.
I seriously believe and genuinely believe, man, that God has blessed me never to have been put in a situation to where I see an altercation on the street and then I see a bunch of jackasses standing around with their camera phones out filming it. It's a blessing that I've never seen. I've never been, on that scene, man, because you standing around watching this atrocity, man, and you filming it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are getting genuinely entertained by this. Now, don't get me wrong, man. Shit, I be watching fight videos too. Man, but to be there in person and to see this bullshit go down and cheer it on. I mean, where are we, man? As a society, where are we?
I think the people who film it and they two things they want to do. They want to get rich off being viral. They want to be famous about being viral when it comes to that. And also they're weaker. They do it because they have no intention on stepping in. But let me record this, then I might be a hero somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I found out, the shooting in Chicago. Well, man, right? I thought it was his girlfriend that was recording the whole thing. No, it was another woman in line recording. So the things that she said, she was saying things like she was with that man. You know what I'm saying? He told you to shut up. The fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
And the killing part about it, Keith, is, that woman recording and making those comments probably had the skill set necessary to fucking diffuse that situation, man.
What situation y'all talking about?
Chicago.
Oh, with the son?
Yeah, I thought that it was his girlfriend who was recording, or there was another woman in line.
That dude, man. Come on, dog.
I'm gonna tell you, the thing about it is I don't know nothing about that young man. But the one thing I understood was he's done that before.
Yeah.
He's done that to people, weaker people before. Now, he's probably knocked out gangsters. You feel what I'm saying? But he's done that to weaker people too because it was too easy. And I'm not passing judgment on him. And I hate the fact that he lost his life. So don't get me wrong. I'm not in it. I'm not going that. I'm saying to you, it's his action. It was too fucking easy for him to hit that woman in the face twice. It was too easy.
He said, "Say one more word, and I'm gonna punch you in
Yeah,
the face."
it was too easy, man.
You know,
You know,
and it's like,
I look. I personally don't look for no justification, right? Unless this man had a pistol and was killing people, was on a killing spree inside that restaurant. I hate the fact that he lost his life, right? But the thing about it is, he walked down that path to lose his life.
well, you know, that young brother's mama, man.
Of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
of course.
The only thing he was thinking about was is stopping the assault, man.
And you know the thing about it was they painted the picture. You know, it was so many different scenarios, right? They painted the picture like the mom called him in there, you know, to do the deed, blah 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 blah. But then I really paid attention to it. She looked at her son in the doorway before this man put his hands on her. He said, "Go get back in the car." So she was trying to protect her son.
That's what
And
mothers do,
she
man.
didn't know her son had the heat on,
That's
had
what
them
mothers
hot
do.
rocks. You know what I'm saying? Now what she did afterwards, saying, "Go finish the job." You know what I'm saying? All of that. I'm not gonna ride with you with that because that was some bloodlust right there. You know what I'm saying? It is
Boy,
what it is.
she wanted to salt the earth, Jack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Flash and burn out this motherfucker. Like,
Sir.
I saw this video when that woman got hit in the face with a brick. I saw this video with it. This sister was saying, if it was black women around, they'd have jumped on that brother. You know what I'm saying? They was banting around that question. What if it was all black women around and they saw that sister get hit in the face?
They would have said something, but they wouldn't have jumped on that guy because they didn't want to get hit with a brick unless they had a pistol. Unless they had a pistol. Come on, dog. Fuck that. I'm sorry. I understand.
I know the sister just put that out. She was like, "What if it was black women? We'd have did something."
They would have said something, and they probably would have put up a bigger effort. See, we ain't got the film of how everything went, so I'm not gonna jump to conclusions or whatever. Because there might have been a couple motherfuckers like, "Yo, man, what the fuck is you doing?" You know what I'm saying? But the way it was painted by her, which that's her point of view, because she's like, "Yo, these men saw this man pick up a brick and hit me in the face with it." Because that's what she saw. You know what I mean? She might not have heard shit. These men maybe tried, but it is, you know.
I know it's tragic. I know that.
All right. So we got anything else, man?
Yeah, man. How about them Lions?
woo!
Yes, sir.
How about them Lions, brothers?
Yes, sir. Oh, tell me. We'll go through all three of us. We'll start with you, Fluke. You brought it up.
I think that they're gonna have a great year, man. I'm not talking Super Bowl. That's silly. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get at least to the NFC championship. You got to at least get there and fill out the the landscape or whatever. But they had a bad game, man. Everybody talking about, well, Travis Kelce wasn't there, and my man who's trying to get the contract, he wasn't there, so they should have beat him. No, Detroit didn't have Williams, and there's a couple of people that they didn't have there. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny to me, man, how people look at the Lions pass and say, "Oh, that's just a flash in the pan. They ain't finna do nothing." No, dude. From last year up to last night, these cats is 9-11. You see what I'm saying? They're 9-11. They finna make some noise, man.
Said 9-11.
Yeah, from last year's record up to last night winning, they won 9 out of 11 games, man.
So they're 9-2.
Well, however you want.
I'm like,
Hamburger, cheeseburger.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why
I did say 9-11. You're right.
yeah,
They're 9-2.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
with
what.
it.
Before I let
Hey, Keith, man, you understood what I was saying, man.
I did. That's why I
You
wanted to.
trying to front me off, man?
No, I just wanted to let them know, man.
I'm just talking shit, bro.
y'all know I ain't a sports guy, man, so I didn't watch the game. But before I left, everybody like, yeah, strong. You trying to put something on that game? I'm like, yeah, why not? So Monday morning, I'm gonna be collecting a whole lot of money in commissary, Jack,
Oh, lot of money.
and commissary. I can get it all.
Yes, sir.
Jared Goff ain't threw a. He's about to break the record for not throwing an interception.
Jared Goff will get you there. Now, when it comes to the Super Bowl, it's a different thing because he only had one shot at the Super Bowl. You feel what I'm
He
saying?
up.
No, he had just
He
one
had,
shot. Right?
he had one shot.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
you can't judge him on that shit. Look, my opinion about it is what it did is show me the Lions should be taken seriously because what they did was they beat a understaffed Kansas City Chiefs team. They missed their main. Kansas City did not have their main weapon, right? And then they had their second weapon. They didn't have it. So they were supposed to win if they was a legitimate team. See what I'm saying? And the Lions didn't luckily win that shit. They won it like they were supposed to win it. That's my opinion about it. You know what I mean? It says, yeah, I mean, they 1-0. It is what it is. But what the thing is they pointed in that direction where, yo, we take ourselves seriously, so you need to take us seriously. You know what I mean?
They showed up, man. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they went to Arrowhead, man.
They did. And look, Patrick Mahomes,
That's a bad boy,
that
man.
guy. He is
Damn.
that guy.
He is on the whole. He is like
Ooh-wee.
the NFL players is here, and he here, man.
He is that guy, man. There's no doubt.
That dude, man. Just think, man. Do y'all think he gonna get Brady's record?
I mean,
It all depends on his body, man.
yeah, that and how long Andy Reid stays because Andy Reid is good for him. But look, that'll be hard. Because Tom Brady, honestly, was on some great fucking teams, and he drove the shit out of those teams, man. He did.
I think as long as he has a mid-range defense,
And that's another thing. You're right. That defense is not a great defense, man. That's what hurts Kansas City.
if he have like a mid-range, middle of the pack defense, I think he gonna win at least 4 to 5 Super Bowls, man.
But look, if he had the Jets defense, then he would win 4 to 5 Super Bowls easily.
It'd be boring, man. Why are we watching it?
If he had the Jets defense,
That's a bad boy there, man.
look, that Jets defense is fucking incredible, man.
I know.
And then they mess around and plugged Aaron Rodgers there. Come on, dog, stop playing. And then he got weapons.
Well,
Come on, man.
I'm halfway chill for the Jets. It's not. I mean, I love Aaron Rodgers, man. Love him to death, man. But I'm cheering for the Jets because of Solace, man. You know that brother from Detroit, right? The head coach.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Detroit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm halfway cheering for him. But Steelers, man, Jesus, man.
No, Pickett is the quarterback that they need. He from Pitt, and
I'm hoping so, bro.
Preseason, don't really mean nothing, but he was the best quarterback in preseason, period. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Pittsburgh's defense is overrated, man. They got some good pieces.
Man, what? That's a bad boy, man.
Yeah, but look, you gotta understand, they're in the same division as Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland.
Cleveland ain't finna do nothing, man.
Man, listen. First of all, Cleveland got receivers, right, and a running back, and then they got the fucking serial pedophile. No, not pedophile.
You talking about Watson?
Yeah, the serial groper, the serial masturbator. You know what I mean?
I think Cleveland might win 7 games, man.
Yeah.
They might win 7 games. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see him. Watson, I think his best years is behind him, man, because I don't think he
played in 2 years. So he ain't been getting his ass beat up.
I think his best. I think mentally he's not going to be able to get over that hump. You know, what you think about Deion, Keith?
I'm happy for him because one thing about it is he's not conventional to certain demographics because he's very, very confident. But if you listen to how he throws that confidence into his players, I mean, because I've been following him since he was coaching his sons in Texas in high school. I've been following him because what I like about him is everybody focuses on, him trying to be flashy, but what he comes out with, what he says, empowers people. It empowers people. So I'm rooting for him, man. To be honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna root for him. I'm rooting for him to beat Nebraska tomorrow. You know what I mean? For the simple fact that everybody else want him to lose.
Man, I'm cheering for him, bro. I'm be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And you know I'm a diehard Michigan guy. I just am. But if he make a bowl his first year, I think that's respectable, man.
Respectable? That's a hell of a damn job, man.
Man, that is. I mean, he changing the landscape, bro.
Yeah.
And everybody hating on him. That would be a real story right there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He admitted that his lines, man, defensive, offensive ain't there, but he got the skill players.
His defensive line need work. His offensive line is there.
You see what his son did?
Yes, sir.
That dude threw for 500 yards, man. I mean, granted, it was against TCU.
The TCU lost a lot of guys, but that's not an excuse because guess what? They really and truly, the reason why TCU was in the game, first of all, is because of Colorado mistakes.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
That dude was slinging that pill, man.
I'm glad of that. The thing about it is he had a very good offensive line, but he would have had the best offensive line in the country if the NCAA wouldn't have done what they did to the one kid, who's a show enough first rounder once he started playing. They made him ineligible for the year.
Yep.
His brother was 6'4", strong and fast, strong, one of the best offensive linemen. And it was obvious that he was, you know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be interesting.
You think he's going to pass Saban with the recruiting?
It's already happening where kids want to play for him.
They're going to be killing themselves, man, to play for
Colorado. They want to play for him because guess what? He is a player's coach, man. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that he demands your excellence, but he talks to you like you're a regular person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They were talking about the only people left from last year's team is 10 players and stuff like that. And I'm like, they still there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dude, 2 years straight, they was 1-11, man.
Yeah, he took advantage of the situation, man. You know what I mean?
It was 1-11. Why would you keep any of those players, man?
I mean, it depended on what kind of coach you got there too, though, bro. You feel me? See that's the thing. Like he could.
Keith Pride gonna win you 2 games, man.
I know. I get that. I get that. But I just think that, uh, depending on your leadership, because like I said, the guy knows how to inspire, and then he bringing in Hall of. Think about what he did. He brought in Hall of Famers.
Yeah, man.
T.O., Warren Sapp,
He
Michael
doing it,
Irvin
man.
brought in Hall of Famers who are personal friends of his. Now it's not like, you know what I mean. And what it does is it don't guarantee you going to the NFL. It don't guarantee that. What it does is, yo, these men believe in you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Look. He brought in what's my man name? I think he's there for College Game Day. Oh my guy, the return guy. What is his name? Played for Michigan.
Yo, Howard? Desmond.
Desmond Howard's there for this weekend because I think they got College Game Day there, or at least Fox version of College Game Day there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know, not to be.
And then the Alabama kid too. What's the Alabama running back that played with Baltimore and he played with New Orleans, got the Super Bowl ring with New Orleans? Hell of a running back. What is his name? Well, he was up there too. So, you know, it's just what it is the fact that these guys are supporting them. You know what I'm saying? Because
Man, you know how much it's gonna be star-studded, man, in Boulder, Colorado, man. Star-studded.
Yeah.
People in the stand. You know how much revenue this man is generating?
Yeah.
Let's just imagine if he was back at Florida State, man.
He's not, but see, he gave Florida State a chance, man. He's not fucking with Florida.
I'm just saying, a storied program like that.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
He'd probably be up there around Nick Saban now.
I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about it is they really didn't entertain him. I think they brought him in for an interview or whatever, but they didn't take him seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it was, you saw where, you know, they talked about him being a Seminole. He said, "Oh, hold on, wait a minute. You're where you graduated from." He said, "I didn't graduate from Florida State. I graduated from Tallahassee or some shit like that, somewhere in Florida." Because he had to have a degree to be a head coach in Division I, Power 5. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it, what I liked about it is he let them know, like, yo, this is where I'm from. Fuck where I played. You know what I mean? Because they didn't show me no love.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a hell of a story, man. If he in the next couple of years he can get a national title.
Oh yeah.
I hope Michigan get one first.
Man, look, your man got to get off fucking suspension. He be on that bullshit, man.
Man, that was Michigan who suspended him.
I know that, man, but still, I was all for Harbaugh, right? But then Harbaugh, the best thing he ever did was change his coaching staff and his recruiting. He brought in some, you know, the new recruiters brought in some dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because he was struggling for a minute. He was about to lose his job. You were about to lose your job.
Yeah, I ain't never heard that. They cut his pay and all that shit. Like,
all of that shit. They was getting ready. They was getting ready to get rid of his ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But look, we got anything else to talk about before you go into your segment, bro? If we good, we'll let you go and bring us on home, Damon. And we'll give the Friday back to the folks that wanted to enjoy the rest of their Friday.
Right. What I want to talk about, man, we talked at length about the woman who got hit with the brick and stuff like that. I'm saying, what I think about is how the world views that, man. You understand what I'm saying? How the world views the reaction to it. You know, you got brothers standing around like, hey man, she really ain't no good, so she deserved it. You know what I'm saying? What's to stop somebody else from treating our women that way, man? Because obviously from that footage, they can come to the conclusion that we don't care about our women. Man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, irrational thinking people will come to that conclusion. Oh, they ain't gonna protect their women. We can do what the hell we want to. You know what I'm saying? Now, in every black man's mind, that should be that fear that people can come to that conclusion. You know what I'm saying? Now, we can have that attitude, but hey, it ain't my woman, it ain't my daughter, it ain't my cousin, it ain't my sister. So why should I get involved? You know what I'm saying? But images go out there, man. People, they react, you know, in a certain way. How do you not protect your women, man? How do you not at least say, hey man, don't do that, bruh? I ain't trying to get in your business, man, but if you hit that woman with that brick, you wrong, dog. And I can't see that. Well, what if he had a gun? He turned it on me. Okay, then you speaking about yourself, man. You telling me, you saying, hey, you know, it's not worth it. You know, but the world that we're living in, man, brothers are gonna have to start making up their mind whether or not they think that shit is worth it, man. They're gonna start making up their mind. You know what I'm saying? Because that can happen to anybody. Anybody's sister, mother, cousin, woman, whatever. And as soon as it does, what people gonna do? Well, man, how come nobody helped? That's the first thing that's gonna come out their mouth. And then I saw another video where his brother beat the brakes off this sister, man, in a I don't know if it was a bus terminal or wherever. She was on her way to work, and this dude he had mental shit going on, but he beat the brakes off this woman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there watching that shit. And I got this feeling inside of me. I'm like, man, this cannot keep going. This just cannot keep happening, man. You know, and then they did an interview with her all messed up and her husband sitting next to him. Next to her. Now, whenever she go do anything, he there. Could you imagine how he felt? Not being there when it happened? She lost the sight in her, I think it was her left eye. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, don't we have to let the world know that you can't do our women like this, man? I don't care what color you are. No, man, that's not okay. That's not okay. But I'm 57 years old. That's how I feel, man. That's how I see the world. I'm not gonna sit up there and watch you beat a woman down, man. Unless she got a razor and she hitting your ass up. You know what I'm saying? But just talking, and you get physical like that. You know, the world that I come from, for me, that shit don't make any sense, man. So, just imagine what the people that don't look like us think. They don't even try to protect their women. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my thought, man. You know, it might be extreme thinking, man, but wow, man. I can't imagine that happening to anybody that I love, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm murdering your ass, man. You feel what I'm saying? Just for peace.
Yeah.
Just to be able to sleep at night. You can't justify that, man. You can't justify a brick in the face I'm saying I don't care how much she call you a bitch or whatever. You know, it's just, you know, I just can't imagine everybody else in the world thinking it's okay to do our women like that, man. And we don't have what it takes to protect them. That's an indictment, bro. But that's just how I think, man. That's just my own personal opinion.
I feel that. I feel that. All right. Well, look, it's a strong perspective podcast. I didn't say earlier. If you go to YouTube and go to our channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Because what we're trying to do, we're trying to reach as many people as possible. Do us a favor, you know us, share this, and also go to our channel and do what you do. I talked about earlier, I went live on both IG and also Facebook, and wanted to talk about, I don't know if I addressed it in the beginning when it comes to the generational gap between the younger and the older
That's right.
folks. The younger and older folks. The conversation took us to another direction, and I promise you we will talk about it. And we're gonna have some young men on and some young women on, and see if we can come to some kind of, maybe not resolution, but to some kind of common ground so we can all reach each other. But this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Great show, my brothers. Great show. Appreciate y'all guys. Any last words, Jaquan?
Hey, man, experience, you know, I cherish the time we spent on the screen together, man. Fellowshipping as brothers, setting a positive example, man. Good job, brothers.
Appreciate it. Damon.
Word to the wise, man. Don't take little white girls for granted, man, because they'll choke your ass out.
You know, I so am happy that I had the opportunity to tickle the shit out y'all.
You know that was one of the
make
funniest
sure-
stories I've heard
You
in
make sure
years,
you
bro.
take 2 Snickers in tomorrow and give it to her.
Man, I said I got
Huh?
I got to do something to appease that little house. I can't wait to see Locke at somebody else though. God damn it.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, she in Bolton. She in Bolton. Yeah, she climbed up your ass. That's a hell of a thing to do, boy.
Hey, look, at one point, did you say to yourself, oh shit, this ain't good?
Like, suppose you got to stop smoking, man. You got to go
Jaquan,
some kind of
Jaquan,
all that shit.
Jaquan, I gotta get in the gym.
God is trying to tell you something.
Ah, shit. All right, well, listen, everybody who came in, hey, Shannon Collins, man, thanks for coming through. Lisa,
Oh my
always a
God.
pleasure. Eric, always a pleasure, brother. Hey, look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast, and we out of here. Peace.
Peace.